Thanks. Okay then, our next story. You know, the royal title of the monarch of Ijebu Kingdom is the Awujale. The most recent holder of the title, Oba Sikiru Adetona, bless his soul, passed on July 13th, 2025. He was aged 91. Now, the race to enthrone a new Awujale is on and has taken a dramatic turn with the formal entry of Fuji music legend King Wasiu Ayinde Marshal. Kwam is his pen name. So at the age of 67, this proud Ijebu son, the entertainer, is believed to bring a combination of cultural influence, national recognition, and political connections to a succession process closely watched across the Yoruba kingdom, the Yoruba country. Now, Kwam's interest is guided by the provisions of Ijebu customary law and the Ogun State chieftaincy laws, too. Good luck, Kwam. Wale?
Well, I think, first of all, the title Awujale of Ijebuland. Yeah. It's a very significant title, traditional stool in African history. So it's not just meant for, we are all interested. It's not just about the Ijebu people alone. Okay. A lot of us all over the country are interested in who succeeds, the Oba that ruled for 65 years and left to meet his ancestors. And I think if you look at the history of Ijebu, it dates back to about 1450 when they had the first Awujale, Obanta. So that's a long history. It shows that it's one of the most historical institutions in Yoruba land. Yeah. And the fact of the matter is that he is qualified because there is no career Oba to say that, okay, if you are an Oba, you must be a journalist, you must be a lawyer. No. You could be in any profession. You could be a mechanic, you could be just anybody, provided you are from the ruling house.
If the lot falls on you.
Yes. And there are 4 ruling houses, in Ijebu. And he belongs to one of them, I think Fusembua, And I think it's their turn now to produce the next Awujale. So he's by all standards qualified. According to tradition, it has been the aspirant, I think there are about 4 of them, have been asked to go and fill a form to prove their genealogy to the past 7 generations. That means you have to state the father of this, the father of that, and all that. Then when
you count it about 7
generations to prove that you belong to that ruling family. And then once you're able to meet the requirement, automatically you are qualified to be the Awujale of Ijebuland. By tradition, it is the Ifa that should pick. Yeah. But with the advent of political economy, there has been a change in power dynamics. Now the local government chairman is involved. He has to give you the process of, give you some days to go and pick, the ruling house to pick a king. And then based on the recommendation of the kingmakers, who are expected to consult the Ifa they will present a candidate, who will now submit the name to the local government chairman that will be given to the governor to now announce the next Awujale.
He will perform the traditional rites.
Yes, okay. And we are expecting this to happen before the end of January. We need to have a new Awujale. What we are expecting is that we want somebody that is from the ruling house, that is not manipulated. And I think in this case it's very difficult to manipulate it. And we're also looking at somebody with a lot of integrity. Somebody who can uphold the virtues, the tradition, the customs of Ijebu people, and also Yoruba nation. In the past years, we have had some very good Obas. We have also had some people that are a huge embarrassment, to culture. So we hope that, in picking this Awujale, a lot of things will be taken into consideration. The culture of the people, the heritage, the integrity of the person. So at the end of the day, when a new Awujale emerges, all of us will be proud of the person that has been picked. And we are praying that normal process should be followed. We don't want this issue to be politicized. But we have seen tendencies where, because you are very close to the governor or some politician, then they just impose you. And that has a lot of impact on the sacred values of the people. When such things happen, you discover that society will never be stable. Because there are all sort of. So we want tradition to be adhered strictly to. and also that politicians will, stay away, so that the Awujale will actually reflect the aspirations of, the Ijebu people.
Yeah, because the man at the bus stop ordinarily would wonder what happens to the entertainer in Kwam 1 if he mounts the throne.
Yes, in fact, somebody posted a comment that who will now be singing for us because this is what he has done for decades, and he's been very successful at it. He's been very consistent. But if he becomes the king, then he will not have the time to be entertaining people. Rather, people should entertain him. It will not, it will amount to belittling and diminishing the stool. For a king to be singing for anyone, that will be a real role reversal. So what we want to see, that stool is very, very important in Yoruba history, and the last Au Jala carried himself with so much dignity. He represented Yoruba interests, fought for the Yoruba, even during the Abacha era, a very dangerous era at that, because Abacha did not brook disagreement, and many people were afraid to take him on because he would easily lock you up, or you could even lose your life. But the Au Jala stood his ground, especially on the matter of June 12th. He was very consistent. At a time when some traditional rulers were losing their heads, he kept his family on his shoulder, and for that reason, anybody who wants to occupy this stool must be someone of impeccable character.
Sorry, I remember in the former President Jonathan days, when he got to his palace, the Au Jala told former president, "I have one vote, Mr. President. My duty is to tell my chiefs what to do." So
because I understand because at that time they were taking money around, giving money to traditional rulers, believing that will influence his victory. But he was one of those who told the former president the truth, that look, I'm only entitled to one vote. I can't influence electoral victory for you. And as a traditional ruler, I'm supposed to be apolitical. I cannot come out and tell people, go and vote for this person. So that is the point. So as I was saying, because of the way he carried himself, with dignity, with so much honor, the last thing people want to see is for anyone that takes that stool to be somebody that they cannot vouch for. It has to be somebody of unblemished character. That is the way the respect, the regard that people have for that stool will be retained, will be sustained. So in this case, we don't want to see people, just as he said, Wale said, we don't want people to simply use political leverage or even financial leverage to get to the stool, because that is what we are seeing these days. Some of the people who are traditional rulers today, I'm sorry, today some of them are just like, they are like cartoon characters. They are not fit for that position. So no one should manipulate the process. Legitimate ancestry in terms of the nomination should be followed.
That's it.
And should be followed strictly. The tradition, what people want to see is for the tradition to be sustained. The person who becomes the king must be somebody grounded in tradition and prepared to ensure that tradition is sustained, not somebody already thoroughly influenced by Western tradition and all that.
So when the Yorubas say, "Kadek pelori, kashe lenu," it means they expect the man the man on the throne
to
exude
reign for so long. To reign. When they say Kadekwe Lori, that means for him to remain king for long, and for him to be in good health, and for him to continue to radiate that aura that naturally will make whatever he says to be honored by his subjects. So, and we know that people who are not of impeccable character will not naturally command. You're saying people become traditional rulers and it becomes a court affair. We don't want to see that. They don't want to see that.
Okay.
Let the politicians who get involved in virtually everything, let those politicians leave the kingmakers alone. Allow the kingmakers to make their choice, make the choice that will appeal to the people, that the people who appreciate and like. We don't want, as I said earlier, we don't want the process to be manipulated. If Wasiu gets it, it's up to the kingmakers now.
Okay.
And I said earlier, the kingmakers should be allowed to do their work, and they should have the interest
of the people,
and the tradition
at heart,
at the back of their minds. No going around taking dollars to people to influence the choice of a traditional ruler.
That's it.
No influencing of the kingmakers after they had made their choice, as it happened in one northern state. I won't mention the state. After they had made their choice and somebody had already even congratulated the person who was announced, powerful politicians got involved and things changed. We don't want that. We wish the kingmakers Godspeed, as you always say. We wish Wasiu good luck. If the kingmakers and his own brothers and sisters believe that is best for him, if indeed it is the turn of his lineage, good luck to him. So we'll be monitoring the situation from now on.
And from the journalist hangout table, we say to the Ijebus in diaspora in Nigeria, Eweso